Hello. So old me would have tidied up the background of this shot, but new me doesn't have time. I have got some random little nap window that I wasn't expecting, and so I'm gonna talk to you instead, and you're just gonna have to live with this how it is. I've been thinking a lot about spending habits and the different types of spending habits that there are, and how potentially it could help you to know what your spending type is, because then you can be informed about what needs you might be trying to meet through buying stuff that you should be meeting through more wholesome and beautiful ways. This is something that I talk about in my £5 How to Stop Emotional Spending course. So I want to bring to you today the 4 emotional spending types and also a free quiz so you can work out what combination of them you are or which one you are. Number 1 is the Soother. This is somebody who is overwhelmed, exhausted, probably feels a little bit like their life is out of control. All of the time is being taken up by something that they're not 100% invested in. They feel potentially neglected by themselves in some way, and they shop for little pockets of peace throughout the day, for a little bit of self-care, a little bit of softness, and a little bit of soul-nourishing joy. We're talking candles, sweet treats, takeaways, that kind of thing, something that makes them feel like they are looking after themselves or treating themselves, when in actual fact they have neglected themselves in the first place, and they've neglected what really matters, and so they're trying to kind of compensate through purchases. But what the Soother really needs is to actually develop proper ways of looking after themselves, proper self-care, rituals that will genuinely soothe them and give them some form of relief from how they spend most of their time. The second emotional spending type is the Seeker, and this has got Carmen written all over it. This is somebody who seeks transformation and momentum and excitement through their purchases. It's someone who feels like a purchase is the missing piece from what their life is. They feel like their life is something that needs fixing rather than something that needs exploring or appreciating. But the important thing about Seekers is what they are trying to gain through buying stuff is actually meaning. They're searching for meaning and identity in some form. What they actually want runs a lot deeper than just stuff, but stuff is easier to work with than, dealing with your own mental blocks, and it's quicker and it's a lot more exciting, which are very enticing to the Seeker. But what the Seeker really needs is some sense of inspiration, purpose, direction. That is what they need in their life, and that they need to try and find genuine, authentic ways of bringing about in their day-to-day life. Otherwise, they're just going to be buying a new notebook and a new outfit and things that kind of simulate the feeling of momentum rather than actually creating it. And this is the frustrating thing for Seekers, is they can end up feeling very left behind and a bit annoyed that they're not further on in life, and it's because the energy's been going the wrong way. This is very much me. I love my life. I have to say I love my life, but there are definitely elements of what I've just said that I resonate with, probably because I said them. The third spending type is the Stabiliser. This is somebody who seeks control and stability through purchases. This is somebody who might be buying lots of backups and items just in case. You're worried that you will leave your future self unprepared in some way, and so you overcompensate in the moment by buying lots of things, or the thing that you think you will need in the future. These are people who perhaps lack and need certainty, order, and some form of inner safety. These are people who might not always have felt like they could rely on people. And when you don't feel you can rely on people, it's very easy to turn to the next most reliable thing, which is that if you give somebody some money, you can take an item. And if you can use the item to help you feel more secure, more safe, more in control, then that is going to be a very helpful coping mechanism, which ultimately is what emotional spending is. These are people who might struggle with mess and unpredictability and things being out of order in some form. But the very ironic thing is that these people often thrive from dealing with that. They thrive when they have to build up some form of tolerance to imperfection, some form of resilience against chaos. Learning to integrate that is what gives the stabilizer more freedom. And finally, we have the prover. This is somebody who spends trying to seem more acclaimed, more popular, more accomplished. They want to affirm their worth and their identity, and they enjoy collecting kind of trophies, status symbols, and rewards, things that show a concern with how they are perceived. The prover is very much all about how they are seen, and this can often get the prover a little frustrated because you ultimately don't have control over that. You have the illusion of control, certainly, but you don't have actual control over how you're perceived. So they tend to overinvest and end up feeling frustrated, kind of a bit stuck because they aren't sure where to put their energy, where would best serve them. But here's the thing, the unmet need of the prover is self-acceptance, and this transforms itself into confidence and ultimately makes the prover somebody that they would like to become, the person that they are striving to be. They will get there through self-acceptance and through the confidence that will bring in. And that is the truth of all four categories. It's a case of, rather than putting your efforts and your energy into these things and gathering and collecting things that you hope will meet your needs, it's a case of learning what those needs are and actually meeting them in an authentic, wholesome, beautiful way that doesn't always involve spending money. It involves connecting with yourself. It involves loving yourself and accepting yourself. And this is something that we go into on my little £5 course, which I will link in the description if you're interested, but I'm really proud of it. And I've also put together a free quiz so you can find out what your spending style is. I'll put that in the description as well. But if you can find out what your spending style is, you can find out what your unmet needs are, and then you can work out how to meet them, then that is going to see a huge shift in your life and you as a person. Thank you very, very much for watching, and I hope you are all doing well. I hope it wasn't too off-putting, all of this stuff here. I clear the fireplace every few days, and this is just what happens when you have a child. I've fought it for long enough, and now I'm leaning into it. This is how it be. So I'm sending you lots and lots of love, and I will hopefully see you in the course or in the quiz. But if not, I'll see you in my next video. Lots of love. Goodbye.